Okay, we're in the podcast now. Now you can introduce yourself. Sorry.
I'm Amber.
That's Amber.
That's Mia.
That's Mia.
I'm Mia.
And I'm Tony. Gotcha.
That's Tony.
April Fools. Got him. We're recording on April Fools, guys. It's the day. The big day is here, and we're all here to record earlier than normal because we were talking about weird stuff.
Yes.
Normally
Like Dick Pistols.
Yeah, like Dick Pistol, Andrew's new character, attorney at law. Dick Pistol, attorney at law.
Yeah.
Dick Pistol, P.I. How do you do it, Dick?
Let's see.
That's it.
That's the whole podcast.
That's
there
the
we
whole
go.
podcast. Thank you guys for joining us.
April Fool's sucks.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's weird. It's a weird
It makes
thing that
sense.
people do.
I said it once, I'll say it again. April Fool's is the day where every YouTuber thinks that they're going to post a video about, oh, I'm quitting, guys, I'm done with YouTube, and nobody ever falls for it, ever.
Yeah.
If you're a YouTuber that posts a video on April Fool's saying that you quit, stop.
You're
no
funny.
one buys it.
You're funny
You're
and you're
funny.
hilarious, and you should keep doing that.
No,
but
you're
for
right.
real.
You're right. Absolutely. 100%. No, April Fool's is a weird holiday, though. Why did it start again? You read about it, right?
Something about in the 1700s, some, like, I don't know what it was, French dudes, they just decided that they were going to annually celebrate pranking. That's
like...
basically what it is.
So, like, jokes.
I mean, that's a good
Yeah,
time.
pranksters.
The time.
What a weird holiday to celebrate. You know what other holiday is weird that we just passed is St. Patrick's Day?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I think
That guy.
I think it's more weird, not that we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but that people will pinch you if you don't wear green on St. Patrick's Day.
That's a weird thing that came about.
That's the weird part. Like, you're not a leprechaun. You can't pinch me.
I know Jacksepticeye, like, explained
He's a leprechaun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He knows everything because he's a leprechaun.
Right.
He explained it the other day, and I completely forgot all of it. But, like, you guys should go watch that.
Well, I mean, St. Patrick's was like, or St. Patrick was an actual
Yeah,
saint.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that makes sense as opposed to Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, do you
I
guys
have no
know,
idea.
like, one of the main reasons why St. Patrick is famous? Because he reportedly chased all the snakes out of Ireland.
Oh.
Good job.
Do you
didn't know
know?
that.
Do you know how genius that is? Like, like to get there and just be like, so you guys notice anything? And they're like, there's no snakes. He's like, yeah, I did that. That was me. And then they celebrate you forever. They're like, wow, damn, Patrick, good job.
Yeah,
Just take credit for that. You guys notice there's no you guys notice there's no pterodactyls plaguing the Arizona desert?
That's because I do my job.
Yeah, well, I chased them out, so like,
You're welcome.
Yeah.
you know, yeah. When are we getting St. Nolan's Day or whatever?
I'm pretty sure that's like at least once a week.
That would be cool. Is it really? Did I just miss it?
Yeah, I think so.
I demand bonfires.
It's the day in between
Bonfires, fireworks, and
Sunday and Monday.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Sacrifice.
The day between Sunday and Monday?
Yeah.
Like
All
that,
right.
like millisecond when it's like in between.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't miss it.
It's
It's a whole day. It's a whole day.
I lived through many of them.
Yeah.
What if every day, like at the exact time that I was like born, you know? I don't remember what I was actually born, what time, but like we celebrate for that minute and then we can stop and go back to our work. We should do that for everyone.
That's weird. Yeah, I know some people who don't celebrate until the time that they were born. Like their families won't even say happy birthday to them until like that time, that particular day. It's like it's not your birthday yet. You weren't born yet.
Imagine being like that,
You're
but
born
also
at, like,
being born on
11:30
a
at night.
Yeah, I was gonna say, imagine being like that, but also being born on like a leap year.
Oh.
You're super anal about it. You're like,
You only get a birthday every 4 years for like 30 minutes.
years old. Yeah, leap years are weird. I get why they exist, but like, do we need them? Would things get like cosmically off if we didn't have them?
Same thing as
I don't think so.
Like
daylight savings time, yeah.
See,
we just don't need it anymore.
It kind of makes sense to me because it's like it doesn't quite match up like completely. Like the Earth doesn't spin around the sun like exactly 365 days a year, but like, and I can see why that could be a problem because like you're a day off for like 1 year, that doesn't matter. But if you're a day off for like 500 years, then suddenly like winter is happening in like July. Because you're off by that many days of a count. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. Like, I feel like it would get behind.
No, you
don't think so?
Would it be that horrible if it did?
It would be weird.
By 500 years from then, it'd be fine.
I would not like having let snow in, like, August. I would not be a fan of that.
But, like, it's just, like...
But you
weeks,
also won't be here.
Days...
I'll be dead,
That's
so,
a human concept.
I'll be dead in 5 years.
Yeah, it's gonna change either way, but it's the world right now is changing.
It's like daylight savings time. Doesn't need to exist.
Does not need to
None of this
exist.
needs to exist. We don't need. Well, we can a little bit.
No,
but
we
like,
don't
not
need
much.
to exist. We don't. The
We
Earth
as a
would
human
be
race
so
don't
much
need to be
better.
here.
But here we are.
Earth would be so much better without humanity.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be here to enjoy it.
We don't enjoy it. We're killing it.
Exactly.
We are
You're right.
the issue. We are a disease to this planet.
We are the problem.
Did you know with 3 well-placed strikes we could blow the planet in half?
Well, there's 3 of us. Where are we going?
Did you know I'm
Everybody
going to
clap
do
at
it
the
right
same
now?
time.
Yeah. It's like if everybody clapped at the same time, we'd all die. That's true. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how, like, if everybody jumped at the same time, they say that the Earth's rotation would be spun out of orbit or whatever, which is not true. But did you know that if everyone simultaneously, like, everyone would die if they all simultaneously jumped into traffic?
Yes.
It's a weird fact.
No,
but it's true.
that
It's
would
true.
happen,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it's true. Also, if everybody simultaneously did a backflip and landed on their neck, they would all die at the same time. It's a weird fact, but it's true.
Yeah, I believe you, actually.
Yeah. You guys ever done that? You guys ever have a trampoline as kids?
Yes.
Well, no.
I
you still
haven't
have a
broken my
Other
leg.
people had trampolines.
You broke your back on your trampoline?
Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty good. Are you okay?
Good job.
Cool. April Fools!
Gotcha.
That's one April Fools. I think that's like 3 actually. We've gotten them now. I one time like tried to do a backflip as a kid and landed on my neck and got like real scared because for a second there I was like, I'm dead, but I wasn't. I was fine. I was alright. I couldn't do a backflip. I still can't do a backflip. I can do front flips real good though.
I can't.
Do a
do a front
backflip in
flip
the
pretty
water.
good. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, same here. You gotta clog your nose though, or it like runs up your nose and you drown.
I just breathe out.
How many times have you guys drowned?
At least once.
Cool.
I actually did almost die once.
Really? From drowning?
Swimming in a river, yeah. I was like 4, I think, like 3 or 4, and I was like holding on to my mom's like swimsuit as I was walking around her in the water, and my parents looked at like a boat that was going by for like 5 seconds, and then my mom's like, wait, where's Amber? And I wasn't like around her, and she saw me floating down the river like this, like on my stomach. She went and got me, and I was like, I was holding my breath, Mommy. Like, oh my god! She was like, good job.
Well.
That's really funny to me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you almost died, but that's really funny.
Oh, man.
You guys ever do that in the pool? You just like hold your breath and like float?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the lifeguard will be
Dead.
coming for me any minute. They don't care. They
No,
don't.
they really don't.
No.
Parents never cared. It's like, I could be dying.
You could be dead already.
I could be dead already.
Yeah, absolutely. There was the one time I like went to the hospital because my blood sugar was like 1,014.
Oh my
so you know
God.
that's not good.
Jesus
Yeah, that's when I found out I was diabetic, which was fun.
That'll
you know?
do it.
Yeah, that was it. It was like that day I was like not feeling like I hadn't been feeling good for like a month. Like I'll have to ask my mom about it specifically, but I don't remember a lot of that month just because I was kind of in like a haze of like high blood sugar or whatever.
Yeah.
But like that day, I was like,
How old were you?
I was 18, so I was still living with my parents, and I got like I went to the doctor and we got like blood drawn, and then afterwards, Mom's like, "You want to go anywhere to eat?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go to Burger King," and I got like a burger and like a shake and like all this stuff, and then the doctor's like, "Yeah, your blood sugar is like 1,000. Come in." I was like, "Cool, thanks, doc." Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you should be dead right now.
Yeah, not fun. You guys know about the Berenstain Bears Mandela Effect. We were just talking about it.
Yes.
Yeah, we were just talking about it a minute ago.
Yes, we were.
For anyone who doesn't know, would one of you guys like to explain what the Berenstain Bears Mandela Effect is?
Look it up.
Okay, I guess Mia will do it.
That's great. Okay, so Berenstain Bears, they're a family of bear, mama, papa, brother, and sister. It's just like an old PBS cartoon and / book series, whatever. There's a Mandela effect about the way that Berenstain is spelt, because everyone swears it's Stein, like E-I-N, and it's Stain, like A-I-N.
Yeah.
So, that's a fun thing. It can be found spelt both ways on a lot of different things. Like, people have found it on VHS tapes, on books, on, like, merchandise, little tags for toys and stuff like that. Little things like that. I don't think it's that big of a deal, because it's, like, one letter, but that's a thing. It's a Mandela effect.
So a Mandela effect, as well, for anyone that doesn't understand it, is when culturally everyone remembers something, or a majority of people remember something being a way that it never was.
It stemmed from Nelson Mandela.
Yes. Who people believed died in prison, right?
Yes.
And
like a long time before he actually did.
And in actuality, I think he's still alive, isn't he?
I believe he died in 2013.
There you go.
And that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Because when he died, everyone was like...
I thought he was dead. Yeah.
I thought he was dead. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go. I think a similar thing happened with, like, Steve from Blue's Clues, where everyone was like, oh, Steve from Blue's Clues, like, did drugs and went to prison and stuff. But in actuality, he's just, like, an actor. He's just, like, a dude who's, like, out there.
He did say that his reasoning for leaving Blue's Clues was that he was starting to bald and he didn't want kids to watch him bald. And it was more of, like, he didn't want to ruin the magic of... like, the cartoon. Yeah. He didn't want to change if they weren't changing. But...
That makes sense.
He was on drugs, and he was focusing on his music career.
He was on drugs, and he killed 13 people, and he was high all the time, and he, like, ate a baby. Yeah. Also, he was focusing on music, But no, I'm going to come out right now. I'm going to say it 100%. Mia threw a bag at me because she knows what I'm going to say. I don't think the Berenstain thing happened. I don't think it happened.
What do you mean happened?
Like,
what do you mean?
People think that it's like a merging of dimensions, and that like the reason it's spelled different. There's no way.
There's like multiple Mandela effects, though. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that people are like, this is clearly a dimension thing.
See, and the thing is, people immediately go to it was a dimension hop. I don't see why that's believable, but like. Aliens aren't, or Bigfoot isn't. These are in the same realm, people. What is more likely?
What if it's all real?
Okay, I believe in all of that stuff.
Me too. Not really, kind of. Some of it, anyways.
Some of it depends, to an extent. Yeah. I can. If I'm gonna rationalize any of it, I'm gonna rationalize all of it. But like, at the same time, I just don't think it's as big of a deal as. Some of them are, but, like, anything could be. Right. It's just not... It's, like, a letter.
This just seems to be the one that's the most widely recognized and has become the most famous because of it. Because it is... Here's my theory, right? It is just one letter. And what is more likely, that people misread one letter and mispronounced a thing their whole lives, or that two dimensions collided and nobody noticed?
I don't think we would notice if dimensions collided. I think it would be more of like a blend. It would just like happen and literally nobody would notice.
It's like, what's more likely, that there's a dude in a gorilla suit hoaxing videos, or that there's an undiscovered 12-foot-tall species of humans that are just living in the forest?
Like I said, it was a guy a long time ago, one of the first furries, and now he's just, it's embarrassing. Would you come out and be like, yeah, no, that was me. I was my first.
The plot thickens, though, because Amber, as well as Andrew, say they have pieces of Berenstain Bear merchandise with an E on it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. People have misprinted it. That's all it is. I think that's all it is.
I have not seen one solid video that's like, here's a misprint.
Okay.
Or a photo that's not photoshopped.
I will show you something for that. But I will say one of the ones that kind of does, like, trip me up a little bit is the Flintstones one.
Flintstones.
I just heard about this one.
Because, like, it wasn't ever something I actually thought about, but I never realized how big the T actually is in the logo, where it says Flintstones, and it makes sense, because Flint. But, yeah.
That's one that got me, too, as I always thought it was Flintstones.
Yeah.
And that's one that kind of, I heard not too long ago and was like, that's bizarre, you know?
That's not.
Because I always thought it was Flintstones? Because I always remember Flintstones from that stupid Granddad meme. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
Well, I also have the Flintstones VHS, so I can check that one, too.
Yeah.
It's true.
I have a picture of a lady who had a Flintstones jacket on. It was, like, from a event that they had did, and it says Flintstones instead of Flintstones. I think it was like a hotel or resort or something like that. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but I was like, followed her around Walmart just to get a picture. That was a couple years ago. It's fine.
Here you go. This dude was playing a bunch of bootleg Mario games, and he loaded one up, and this is what the title screen said. His name's Joel, by the way.
Check it out. Granddad! Flintstones? Granddad! What the f***?
Do you mean to tell me that's not just you?
Granddad!
Granddad.
Flintstones? God, I love Joel. Watch Vine Sauce Joel. He's funny. But yeah, that one always sticks in my mind, I guess, as being an example of Flint instead of Flynn. But like, it is a thing that I could kind of remember both ways, and I think that's what the thing is. Do you ever notice how these letters that are misplaced are always like in the middle of a word?
Yeah.
Like there's something
it's
that's usually pronounced silent, or like something like that, or like is like just skippable, like Berenstain, like whatever.
Yeah.
You say it fast enough that they kind of sound the same. Flintstones, you say that Flintstones, and like it.
Yeah.
You don't really pronounce the T, so it gets glossed over.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird, though, isn't it?
It is weird.
It's a strange effect.
And I understand why it does trip out people, because
I think
they like in reality it doesn't actually matter, but like I get why they're like, what? My whole life has been a lie.
What?
It's just like things like ancient aliens and those kind of mysteries exist, and people are flipping out about like Fruit Loops and Whiteout, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, those things are so trivial compared to, like, what if there were aliens? I don't know, man. Ancient civilizations were very advanced. They definitely did those things, and incredible. That's all.
Yeah.
But ancient aliens, you could be more interested in that, or, like, the freaking monoliths that are popping up recently and stuff like that.
Yeah, which I think that...
Actual weird phenomenons.
Didn't the person who made those come forward not too long ago?
I don't know, probably.
I think it was an art thing. I think they posted it on YouTube.
Dang.
There's some bizarre ones that are like so minor that like I don't see how people can have strong feelings towards them one way or another. Like Kit Kat being hyphenated or not being hyphenated. I don't remember if it was hyphenated or not, and I don't care because
I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, Flintstones is a big one though. Like look at that. Like looking at it, Flintstones definitely looks incorrect. Like looking at Flintstones next to Flintstones.
Yeah.
Like Flintstones feels right.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's always been the case, you know?
You're right.
It's
just weird.
I'll have to check my VHS.
There's some that, like, I just don't respond to at all. Like, the Monopoly Man having a monocle. He never had a monocle. I don't ever remember him having a monocle, you know? Or, like, the Fruit of the Loom logo. That's another big one, is that people say it had a cornucopia in the back.
It did have a cornucopia. That was just a design change.
Was it?
Yeah.
See, because I don't... According to people, like, it never had a cornucopia. According to the company itself, like, it never did. Yeah.
I thought that it was just a design change that somebody found out about, because I could have swore they had a cornucopia. I remember, like, a commercial, and a guy was dressed up as a cornucopia. But I didn't, again, that was, like, one of those things that it's just like, yeah.
The one with
changes.
Pikachu, too, like, with his tail.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all. See, that where people say Pikachu had a black tail?
Yeah, I
don't think that happened. I know that Pichu had a black tail, and I think that could be where the confusion came in.
Yeah.
Similarly related to tails for some reason, Curious George, people say he had a tail. He never had a tail.
He's never had a tail.
He's a chimp.
That was like...
If he did, it was like a bump.
That was like his main driving point. That's why... What's-his-face was so interested in him as well, is because he wasn't like a normal monkey.
Yeah. Just bizarre things. Oh, that's an interesting one. People say that 3PO didn't have a silver leg in A New Hope. He always had like one silver leg. Yeah. There have been so many toys made about him and stuff, and he always had a silver leg. Not always, but a lot of the time.
But like he did.
Yeah.
Good ones.
It's a weird thing. Or like Jif being Jiffy. It's always been Jif. I don't even eat peanut butter, and I know it's Jif. Peanut butter. Peanut butter. Peanut butter.
Oh, God.
There was one time...
Piss nut.
I'm not going to name names, alright, but there was one time that somebody was pouring themselves, that I know, a bowl of Reese's Pieces, or Reese's Puffs, sorry, and they were thinking of Reese's Pieces as they did it, and you know who you are, and they said, quote unquote, I love Reese's penis. No, wait, that's not what I meant, and it was too late. The damage was done. Oh, no. So I can't look at Reese's Puffs or Reese's Pieces the same way ever again. They're both ruined for me. That and E.T. have made those, like, laughing stocks for me forever. Reese's... Okay, did anybody like E.T. as a kid?
I did. I was afraid of, like, one scene, but I liked it.
I mean, yeah, I liked the movies.
Would you say...
It wasn't anything I was, like, afraid of.
Movies?
Would you say E.T. was cute?
Oh,
no.
The creature?
No, he's terrifying.
Why do people think he's cute?
I don't know. I think it's just because the little noises that he makes. I think that's important. I think... Here's the thing. I think the more grotesque a character is, the less they talk, the more likable they are.
Yeah.
That could be it.
Like, the less any annoying creature talks, it's like, yeah, I like them. That's why I can't stand Olaf.
Maybe. I think that's the thing, is like, I don't really mind Olaf in the first one, but I think that the wave afterwards of like, Olaf, look at these Olaf quotes, where I'm like, stop.
That or Minions.
Anyways, E.T. gives me kind of the same vibes. I think that he's okay, but not like annoying. E.T. scared me as a kid. You know what he looks like? Like with like the eyes and stuff? He looks like when people try to draw like anime characters realistically or something, and they give him like big eyes that are like veiny and gross, you know?
It's like Wall-E without the shell.
He looks like one of those like have you guys ever seen like the Photoshop of like Peter Griffin, but he's like hyper realistic? It gives me that vibe. It gives me that vibe.
Fair.
Even as a kid though, I found him uncanny. I didn't like that his like neck extended and then he had like long weird fingers and you could like see his ribs and his heart was like pulsing and stuff. Like
weird, like fleshy texture I could imagine him being that was like
yeah.
He's like an unshelled turtle. Like
yeah, that's exactly
you need to be in something, sir.
I don't know why.
Put
like,
clothes on.
You know what's funny is like the first time I watched that movie as like a child, I was like, whatever, like didn't care. And then like I watched it again when I was like 7 or 8 and I was like, E.T. He's like a little flesh man.
Yeah,
with
terrifying.
He like waddles after you and extends his neck.
If he were to scream at me or run at me in any way, I'd drop kick him.
E.T.
I wouldn't know what to do.
E.T. I am positive that the whatever it's called, the dead hand in Ocarina of Time is modeled after E.T. The way it moves and extends its neck.
I hate that thing.
That thing's awful.
Much.
What an evil enemy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
The dead hand. It's bizarre.
How bizarre.
How bizarre.
How bizarre.
How would they even do that if they did like an Ocarina of Time like HD on like the Switch or something? How would they even do that?
No.
I feel like they'd just cut him. They'd be like, no.
They'd be like, we're not doing that.
Absolutely.
So rated E for everyone, huh? All right.
God, it would be terrifying.
I think the rating board didn't get to that level. What?
Did end for nightmares.
That in a VR experience.
Oh my god.
Having to fight him.
No.
I'd kill myself.
Yeah.
I'd probably also, like, have a heart attack. That's fair.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Can you imagine E.T. in VR? He's
Sounds
in
like your nightmare.
You're like in a house and like E.T. is somewhere and you know he's coming for you, but you just don't know where he is.
I would like end up kicking an animal just because getting it.
The idea of anything in VR, like being in a dark house and like it's coming to get you, it could be like Mario, it could be like Mickey Mouse. It doesn't matter. It could be Danny DeVito, but knowing that they're coming to get you in like a dark house is scary, and in a VR would be terrifying.
Shia LaBeouf.
But yeah, like E.T., and he's like out there, he's like, Amber,
I hated that.
I'm here, Amber.
God.
It's the idea of E.T. scares me though.
That being said, I
Weird
do
little
want
creature.
a VR experience of a haunted house. I hope it exists, and if it doesn't, get on it.
It does. There's a bunch of them. Man, what a weird creature though. Like you feed him Reese's Pieces. What a good marketing strategy.
Exists,
Yeah.
Me too.
In the
I wonder how much
Star
they paid
Wars
for that.
universe.
He's canonical. They like waged war. I think they sided with the Trade Federation. Like they're evil.
Yeah, I think so. At least those particular ones.
Imagine
but like E.T. in the movie like recognizes Yoda, which is pretty cool.
Which signifies that Yoda is simultaneously real on Earth and also exists somewhere in the Star Wars galaxy. Yeah. How did that work? Which ties into the real world theory. There's a group of people that believe that George Lucas actually just received those transmissions from the real world Star Wars galaxy and that he put them into a movie.
You know,
That's
he
what
might have.
happened.
And it's all a hoax and that
That's
Star Wars
true,
is real.
actually.
Did you know that Power Rangers is the same thing, actually? It's all a cover-up in, like, California. Mm-hmm. Like, Crystal Cove or whatever it's called is, like, real and, like, not
That's why
Crystal Cove,
they
sorry.
like write movies like
Angel
this so that
Grove.
we don't question it.
Yeah, it's true. No, they're all
They
real.
normalize it.
If you think that you're crazy because you think these things are real, you're not.
You're
They're
not crazy.
all real.
No.
Power Rangers, Pokemon, Mario, Crash
Birds,
Bandicoot
those
4.
don't exist.
Birds aren't real.
Don't kid yourself.
Bandicoot.
Crash
Bandicoot's cool.
Bandicoot is fucking scary looking.
Whoa!
Crash Bandicoot coming to find you, and you hear the Aku Aku like the.
That would be terrifying, not gonna lie. Whoa!
He's coming to get you. You're gonna hear him spinning through walls. It's like have you guys ever seen Blade Runner?
Yes.
No.
We're gonna watch Blade Runner together. You can watch if you'd like. We should watch Blade Runner and the second one back to back.
Is it the one we were talking about that's like in the computer?
No, that's
That's the other one.
which
I
one
know
was
what
that?
Blade Runner is.
I don't remember what that one is.
I've just never seen it.
Blade Runner. I think you might be thinking of Matrix. No, what are you thinking of? I don't know what you're
I
thinking
don't
of.
know.
I don't know what you're thinking of now. I don't know.
They race on like little
Tron?
Yeah, that's Tron.
like little motorcycles in the computer. Yeah.
Sorry, Tron Legacy has
That's
a
Tron.
killer soundtrack. It's an
I was gonna
amazing
say,
movie.
it's just because Nolan likes Daft Punk.
I love Daft Punk. It was my gateway into Tron. But yeah, Blade Runner is it's one of the movies that popularized cyberpunk as a genre, and it's really good. It's like this dude called the Blade. It's Harrison Ford. He's what's called the Blade Runner, where they have to hunt down. They're like a special division of the police force where they have to hunt down replicants, which are like artificial humans made for slave labor. It's a good movie. It's about like humanity and morality and like what it means to be human. It's a good movie. Anyways, there's a part in the end where the villain is like chasing down Harrison Ford through like a dark house, and I imagine that, but E.T. coming to kill you.
Okay, so now I need to watch some of the context.
I'm imagining E.T. giving like the final monologue of the movie.
Yeah.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Yep. Anyways, that'd be hilarious.
Oh, man.
Would you watch a movie of Harrison Ford feeding Reese's Pieces to E.T. for 3.5 hours?
Maybe.
In like a room?
Who's on the soundtrack?
Vangelis, Daft Punk, Hans Zimmer, John Williams, and Deadmau5.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd watch that.
And Pharrell Williams does vocals.
Oh.
Is that a no?
I would. I actually don't hate Pharrell Williams' voice.
No, he's alright.
He's got a pretty decent range.
I can't forgive him for the Amazing Spider-Man 2 soundtrack. I can't really forgive Hans Zimmer for that one either, though.
I've
It's pretty-
listened to it.
It's pretty bad.
I believe you.
It's catchy in some parts, but like the electro music is the worst thing ever.
You know what I think has a really good soundtrack?
What?
The It movies, the new ones.
I don't remember the
they're-
soundtrack very well.
They're just really good.
I need to
like,
listen to
I
them.
haven't
Yeah.
seen the second one. I've only seen the first.
We should
The
watch
first new one.
it. We should
I've
watch
seen
it.
the
part
old
two.
one too.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen part 2.
We should watch it. It's pretty good.
Is that what you've been listening to lately?
No, I just have all my music
Look
playing.
at that dude. Look at that whole man.
There's a
God.
dog outside the door.
Hi, bud.
Oh, Buford. Buford, come be on the podcast.
Don't jump.
Don't jump.
on,
No
Buford.
jump.
Come on, bud.
Hi.
Come be on the podcast. Come here.
Come here.
Good boy.
Whacks
Buford's
everything
here.
with the
Buford,
tail.
say
Hi.
hello.
He's so happy.
Hello. He's so happy to be here. That's his tail whacking the chair, by the way. Buford, don't do it.
Dude, you're on thin ice in here, just so you know.
Hi, baby.
So happy. Buford's here, guys.
This is Buford.
We'll insert a picture of him.
Buford's here to talk about, what are you here to talk about, Buford?
He wants to make sure you guys do your taxes, and don't forget to give your dogs treats tonight.
Buford.
Good talk.
Yeah, Buford's like here to talk about the minutia of like the Vietnam War and
Yeah, yeah.
pressing political issues. Yeah,
He's gonna get into whether or not Milkbone had a bone-shaped logo or not.
it's true. It's true.
spooked by
what
feeling his
Mandela
head.
effect do you remember, Buford?
Did Buford used to speak?
Interesting. Was Buford? Yeah, Buford. I definitely remember Buford used to talk,
Yeah,
and then
he,
you all forgot it except
sounded
me.
like a Scottish man.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Oh, he's sniffing.
kick him out. I don't. It's
Get
too
outta
much
here.
stress,
All right,
baby.
get out of here.
Go on,
Get off
buddy.
the podcast.
Love you,
How
Buford.
dare you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, bud.
Thanks
Goodbye.
for the.
I come hang out with
Don't
you
you ever say that
later.
ever again on the podcast. Get out of here. Love you.
Blasphemy.
God, he's so cute. He looks like Scrappy Doo.
Yeah, a little
Big.
bit.
Yeah,
But
Big
huge.
Scrappy Doo.
big Scrappy Doo. He's like at that medium size right
In
now.
between Scrappy and Scooby.
Gonna
Yeah.
be so big. I'm so excited.
Oh,
He's Doobie Doo.
I want a Scooby dog,
Scooby Dog.
but I don't want a Great Dane.
Freaking Marmaduke.
They're so cool, but
My
like,
So big.
Yeah.
So
Like
slobbery.
brother-in-law has a dog that looks like a Scooby-Doo, but
a
he's
Great
not.
Dane?
He's not the actual like breed. He's not a Great Dane, but he looks like a Scooby-Doo, and his name is Scooby-Doo, and he has the
Nice.
collar and everything. It's so cute.
that's
It's my
amazing.
Precious.
And he only has 3 legs.
Aww.
And he's just so sweet.
Scooby lost it in the war.
I love him a lot.
During one of the missions. I
Yeah.
love Scooby Doo.
He lost it. Have you guys ever watched? Okay, have you guys heard of Scooby Apocalypse?
What?
Depends on what you're talking about.
It was a comic book that DC Comics did where it was Scooby-Doo
Yes.
like reinterpreted as like a monster apocalypse where they're like some of the last survivors.
Yes, I believe I actually
sounds
have
great.
a comic book laying around somewhere.
It's not, it's weird.
And I gotta say,
It's bizarre.
I don't know if you're talking about the correct one, because I definitely do have an apocalyptic style Scooby-Doo comic. Shaggy's design is really cool.
He's like
That's
a
all I
hipster.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
like
it's the same
he's
one.
very hippie.
He's very much
Like-
a hippie. He's got like full sleeve tattoos and like he's got
yeah.
like the mustache and the like
It
curls. and,
looks
like,
so
the
good.
goatee.
I have to
It's
show
really
you.
funny.
I want to
Okay,
find
please
it.
do.
It's super.
Sounds
It's super bizarre seeing them all like drawn as like human,
Like
like
real?
that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Well, no, they're drawn like humans. Just it's weird seeing them interpreted in that way.
As like normal humans. rather
Yeah,
than,
yeah.
like, cartoon humans.
Shaggy's a normal human. He's just got an eggplant head.
It's just got an egg.
And bell bottoms.
And bell bottom. Okay, my
What are
friend.
you saying? Normal people don't wear bell bottoms?
Yes,
Dude.
that's exactly what I'm saying, Mia.
My friend Chris, shout out to
want
Chris,
bell-bottoms.
legitimately
Shout out to
bought like
Chris.
bell-bottom like Shaggy jeans, and he just wore them for like a month.
Good.
Dude,
Yeah, they were
I
great.
want
They were
bell-bottom
amazing.
Shaggy jeans. I can't find them.
Shaggy's a good role model, man. I totally wear Shaggy jeans.
I really want bell bottoms, like whether it be jean,
This
whether
is
it be corduroy.
specifically the one I have.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Bell-bottom jeans are cool. They got to come back in style.
They are in style. Everything's in style all the time. Wear it.
Wait, can
Wait.
you say that again, Amber?
Shaggy's hot, guys.
yeah.
That's what I was trying to avoid saying.
No,
But
he's
Shaggy's hot.
But he looks hot in
got that
comment.
like hipster-ish
Oh my God.
quality about him. Bit of a hippie.
Amber, stop.
Checking out Shaggy like,
She's all zoomed in on him.
goddamn, Shaggy. Shaggy looks like Jack Stauber in that comic book.
Damn,
You guys know who that is. Yeah. Shaggy he's a weirdo. I love him. I love him so much.
Mama looks like, Edna Mode.
She's like a scientist
She
in
is
it. She's
Edna
like the
Mode.
scientist that like started
She's
the
always a
gene on
scientist.
accident. Yeah.
Oh.
That like ended the world and stuff. I think
Yeah.
Fred and Daphne end up dying. A lot of stuff happens. Fred
There's a
definitely.
movie that's Daphne and Velma.
I've heard about that.
Yes,
it's
I
on.
saw
Saw it
about
on
it, I've not seen
Netflix. I put it on the list, so
Very
yeah.
bizarre. Very bizarre. There was going to be. And it wasn't like produced by Warner Brothers or anything, but there was a show called I think it was literally just called Mystery Incorporated. That was going to be like on YouTube. Like these fans had made like they were making like a Scooby-Doo like TV series like that was live action, and it was like approved by Warner Brothers. Like they were like, you're good to make this or whatever. And I think that they got canceled because of COVID because I haven't heard anything about it. But yeah.
I think I vaguely remember that.
That'd be really cool.
I don't know how I feel about Scooby-Doo in the context of, like, Shaggy actually being a stoner and, like, things like that, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm sure Shaggy has done drugs,
I
but,
think
like,
it would be
I don't know.
nice to, like, allude to it a little bit more, but not make it, like, his main character point.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
Yeah.
if, you
I think
know,
it gets broken
like,
down to that a lot.
like if something like the CW did a Scooby-Doo remake, they very much would make him just like that would be his whole personality.
Shaggy's addicted to
is weed.
heroin.
Yeah, exactly.
Fred's on cocaine. Daphne does speed. Velma Dilaudid. Scooby does crocodile.
Exactly. The whole shebang.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I saw this post the other day that was like wondering where all their money came from, and it was like logically Shaggy is a pot dealer, and it's like, well, technically they're all from really high class,
Yeah.
super wealthy families.
In Mystery Incorporated, yeah,
And
they
they
elaborate
charge
on that. Because Mystery
for their
Incorporated
services.
is, like, technically a prequel to the original show,
Is
from what
it?
I understand. Like,
I've
it
only watched a
ends...
few episodes.
It's weird. I think that's a weird recontextualization, because then you go back to what's Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And it's like, well, they just fought an eldritch god. And now they're, like, solving the case of the muck monster or whatever. This is weird. So I don't really consider it that way, but, like, I don't know.
Scooby-Doo is like one of those series where like each series is canon to itself.
Yeah.
And
Every movie.
that's fine. Just don't try and make it make sense together.
Yeah, did you see when they did like they did the sequel to Zombie Island, Return to Zombie Island?
I don't know. Is that the one with the cat ladies?
Yeah, that's Zombie Island. So they
Yeah.
did a sequel to it, and they tried to retcon everything to say like, oh, it wasn't actually zombies or ghosts, it was just holograms, and we all remembered wrong. Because of swamp gas or something. It's awful. It's the worst sequel I've ever seen.
I'm not watching it. I want to watch it just to make fun of it, but that's the word. No,
The
that's like
whole-
my favorite one because it's real.
The whole point of it is that it's real. It's like
Yeah.
we rewatched The Witch's Ghost not too long ago. That one's really good too. That's the one that introduced like the hex girls and stuff.
Okay.
Similar thing. It's just like it's real.
Yeah, it just it's happening.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't always have to be Jerry in a freaking Yeti costume.
That's why Zombie Island is like such a good movie, is just because like it takes them and actually puts them in a paranormal situation where like other things had. There was like 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo and like Scooby-Doo meets the Boo Brothers and stuff like that.
Because
But
like initially, like they're automatically gonna assume that it's somebody messing with something. So when it's not somebody messing with something, it's cool.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
nice.
Like that moment of like when Fred like is trying to pull the mask off the zombie and he just pulls its head off and it's like, hell yeah.
Could you imagine if you just decapitated a decaying body? Like I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
For real. Okay, I was trying to remember the name of it. Scooby-Doo. I wanted to. Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School is a good one. Have you guys seen that one?
Is that the one with the kids?
Yeah, Shaggy ends up as like a gym teacher for like a bunch of for like Dracula's kid and like Frankenstein's kid and stuff. It's really weird. It's a weird one.
That's where my sister gets her cat's name from, Sabella.
Really?
Because that's Dracula's daughter's name.
Aw, that's cool. Yeah,
I believe.
that's during the red shirt Shaggy era.
Yeah.
Yes.
When Shaggy had a red shirt and like Velma and Daphne. Well, mostly Velma and Fred just didn't exist. Sometimes Daphne was like around. I think sometimes Daphne was gone too. I think sometimes it was like there was a period of time there where like Scooby-Doo, like after the original show and after they did Scrappy-Doo and stuff, where they were like, we think kids hate Fred and Daphne, so we're just gonna get rid of them and sometimes Velma. And that was like the assumption was just like people only liked Shaggy and Scooby, but then people were like, oh, like where are they?
Where's
like
the gang?
this
It's
is
dynamic.
This is not a rounded out team.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I mean, apparently when I was little, Daphne was my favorite. I had, like, the Barbie doll of her and everything. But, like, I like Velma.
Velma's cool. Yeah, Velma's cool.
She's
I
smart.
think as a child,
Velma's
I
cute.
liked all of them except Fred. But now that I'm older, he's actually, like, he's not my favorite character, but he's definitely, like, he's so funny for no reason.
funny.
Like, he's so effortlessly funny. Like, he's such a himbo. And as a child, I didn't appreciate that as much.
I love the way that he says treasure. He goes, treasure! Treasure! That must be the pirate's treasure! Every time. It's really funny. Frank Welker is... hey, can you believe he's been doing Fred's voice for all these years?
That's wild.
Still
I
him.
love that. Go him.
He's amazing.
He deserves it.
Have you guys ever watched The Real Ghostbusters? You guys ever watched that cartoon?
No.
If you
You've mentioned
A
it.
little bit.
If you guys like Scooby-Doo, you will love The Real Ghostbusters. If you like Ghostbusters, you'll love The Real Ghostbusters. It's so great because it just takes that.
I'll have to watch it.
It's totally like a Monster of the Week thing. Season 2 is when you can kind of like stop watching because it was like they did the thing of like executives changed everything for the worse because they thought that would be better and it wasn't. But it's just like a Monster of the Week thing with like Ghostbusters where sometimes it's like a goblin, sometimes it's like the boogeyman and stuff. But Ray's character is voiced by Frank Welker, and every time I hear him talk, I just hear Fred because it's just Fred's voice. It's really funny. But yeah,
I love that.
yeah, watch that show. Though. That show's amazing.
There's a lot of things I have to watch. I literally never watch anything.
Yeah, same.
Like,
that.
I mean to. I have so many things on my, like, watch list, but I don't do it. I don't watch them.
Yeah. I'm finally finishing The Promised Neverland, season 1. I didn't watch season 2. I'm on season 1, but it's really good so far. That show's good. Have you heard about that one at all?
I've heard about it. I've not watched it.
I'm gonna spoil it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna spoil the premise. I'm not gonna spoil
That's
anything
okay.
that happens, right?
I am a firm believer that watching it is a lot different than somebody, like, verbally telling me, because they're telling me, like, their opinion as opposed to... or how they felt about the ending.
Yeah, so it's a bunch of kids living at, like, this little orphanage, and it's, like, very quaint, and they're all, like, happy, and there's, like, their mother who, like, takes care of them and stuff, and it's, like, 40 kids or something. I think it's, like, 40 or, like, 30 kids.
38, I think.
38. And they're all just kind of, you know, they're, like, having a good time or whatever. There's, like, the one little girl who's named Connie, who's about to get, like, adopted. Like, she's leaving that day or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, like, she leaves with Mom or whatever, and Mom, like, takes her to, like, the gate, which is, like, where they're not supposed to go, right? And she leaves behind her stuffed animal, and these kids are like, oh, we gotta go, like, go take it. And essentially, they find out that all the kids there are just food, and that this is actually a farm, and that the outside world is run by demons that eat children.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah. It's cool. It's good. There's a lot of, like, detail to it, too, is what I really like. Like, it's all within the farm and stuff, but there's so much to it that it's, like, you really get invested. It's nice.
I think people would like it. I think,
I'm gonna watch that.
but yeah.
I have so many things.
Pales in comparison to Scooby-Doo. Where are you? Cannot top that.
Yes.
There's so much. We turned on, like, the first episode of that the other day, like
The very first one?
it's like the Black Knight one. I can't remember. Not the Black Knight. It might be the Black Knight. It's the one. It's the night in the museum. It's like Fright Night or something. I can't remember it. It's some kind of night pun. It's like night or something. It's something like that.
Yeah.
But that episode is so fun to watch. Just all of it, like Shaggy, like jumping up through the window and like it's just bizarre. All of it's so strange. It's really funny.
My favorite Scooby-Doo movie, I think, would have to be the, what is it?
Cyber Chase?
Cyber Chase, yeah. That one's my favorite one, just because it, like, revisits the old designs and all that.
Yeah.
And it's super cool with all the monsters.
I need to refresh on my Scooby-Doo knowledge. Because you guys are bringing up all these different names, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah, that one, yeah. And I'm like, I can't remember any of it, actually. So I need to
Scooby-Doo is
watch
definitely
everything.
a comfort cartoon.
Yeah.
Like one of those things I can just put on, and it can, it's fine.
For me, I really love Scooby-Doo. It has a soft spot in my heart. But the thing about Scooby-Doo, specifically, is that we had these family friends when I was younger, and the dude was super obsessed with Scooby-Doo. Like, it was his thing. Their room was decked out with, like, Scooby-Doo plushies, Scooby-Doo merchandise, like, Scooby-Doo everything. Scooby-Doo curtains, bedspread. Like, it was ridiculous. There was hundreds of dollars worth of Scooby-Doo.
I love that.
Wow.
And so not every time, but most often when I think about, like, Scooby-Doo, I think about, like, that time in our life. And, like, don't have good connotations with us anymore, so I'm like, oh yeah, I, like, mentally blocked that out on accident.
That's fair.
So all of my Scooby-Doo knowledge is, like, gone.
Yeah.
One day, I'll get it back.
That
I will
happens.
get it back.
Scooby-Doo doesn't... What's Scooby-Doo?
What's that?
We were talking about the Mandela Effect.
Yeah, we were talking about Ghostbusters.
Berenstain Bears. So anyways,
Do what?
I'll do it. I'll cry.
See, Amber is so easy to convince that, like, we just cross dimensions. It's great.
I don't know. There was that one time but Mia convinced you that Andrew didn't exist.
Mia convinced you. That's true.
Or was that Logan?
I think
it was me and you convincing Logan that
that's what
Andrew
it
didn't
was.
exist.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it was.
But no, Scooby Doop is definitely real. Like, that's a thing that happened.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah. Scooby Doop on Zombie Island, Scooby Doop Where Are You? They're all really good. They're really good.
Right.
Scoob-Doo.
Yep.
It's just Scooby-Doo.
Yep. Scooby Doop.
Stop. No.
What?
It's not nice.
What's not nice?
Scooby-Doop.
Scooby Doop. What do you mean Scooby Doo? It's
I'm
just...
confused.
I'm saying I like Scooby Doop on Zombie Island and Scooby Doop Where Are You? Have you've seen, like, Mystery Incorporated, haven't you?
Scooby-Doo, yeah.
Scooby Doop Mystery Incorporated.
No.
I'm not gonna let you gaslight me on this one, Amber.
I'm so confused. What is happening right now?
Scooby Doo? Why would they call him Scooby Doo? They do sometimes. They call him Scooby Doo for short.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Scooby Doop.
Scooby-Doop.
It's always been Scooby Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
It's always been Scooby Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
You know that, right, Mia?
Yeah, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Scooby Doo Bop Bop.
So it's been a good podcast.
Run, folks.
We have to cancel.
You guys seen that episode where Fred, like, accidentally runs over the guy with the car?
What?
No, it didn't happen. Just
Okay.
kidding.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that does happen.
There was a movie. There was a movie though where Shaggy, like, accidentally pushes a guy over a cliff though, and, like, he dies, and that's the resolution. No, that didn't happen either. I'm just kidding.
I was like, my brain immediately went to, like, the Alien episode and the racing episode, and I was like, yeah, that's something Shaggy would do.
Okay, there was one where, like, Velma is the villain though, and they, like, pull off the mask and it is her though.
Isn't that an actual
That one
thing?
did actually happen. Yeah. That one did happen.
That sounds real.
That one did happen.
I know there's the one where her, like, doppelganger, or, like, whatever it is, her... I don't know what her name was. She was the...
Delma.
Yeah. I don't know what it was.
Hot dog water.
Delma. Hot dog water. That was her name, yeah.
That's just her name. Yeah. That was her name.
While we're still on the topic of Scooby-Doo, what are your guys' individual thoughts on Be Cool Scooby-Doo?
I haven't watched it actually. It seemed funny. It seemed like it had that type of humor that was very like Sonic Boom-ish, where it's very, like, aware. like hyper aware of itself, kind of. I don't know. I think that the people saw the designs are immediately like, what is this? Family Guy Scooby-Doo? What is that? What is this, Brickleberry Doo?
I think
it looks funny, though.
I think it's nice. Like, I do not hate the animation style, and I don't think that it's unfunny or anything like that. I just don't think it's very Scooby-Doo-ish. I know that they did change, like, Daphne's character a bit. She's more like Shaggy for no apparent reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's, like, really dumb. Which I don't appreciate, because she's always been... She's hyper-feminine, but she's not stupid. Yeah. That's her thing. I don't know. That's something I don't really appreciate. And then, like, I don't know. I like the humor's there, but it's not Scooby-Doo humor. They could have made it a completely different show.
Have you guys watched Scooby-Doo and Guess Who? It's still running. It's pretty much just like remember back in the day when they'd be like, today's episode, the gang meets the Harlem Globetrotters, or like Batman or whatever.
I think so, yeah.
It's that, but it's modern, and they just, every episode they meet someone, so it'll be like
Batman.
They did a Batman, but it's like, I'm pretty sure, they got like Kevin Conroy to do the voice of him again. They did one where it was like, they did one with like Sherlock Holmes. They've done a bunch of them. They're really cool. They're really funny, too.
I've not seen the recent ones, no.
They're really good. If you can find them, like, watch them. They're a good time. And I think they kind of fill that hole that Cool Scooby-Doo has left for you.
That's
I don't know.
Scooby-Doo. Cool
Doobie-Doo.
Cool. I wanted to add to the Daphne for Be Cool Scooby-Doo.
Daphne?
I noticed that in, not a lot of the episodes, but, like, in the episodes where she is being excessively stupid... she usually, like, she'll do things that are, like, dumb, that you wouldn't see her doing normally, but then in the end it'll be like she's the one who actually solves the case, because nobody else, like, does anything that's productive to the case.
Yeah.
And she's like, you guys are stupid, and just fixes it.
That's pretty cool.
So there's that, but, like...
It's like they're just setting it up to do that, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
I've noticed the show is...
to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just another take on it. It's why, like...
It's a very basic show. Like, it's the very base of, like, Scooby-Doo.
Similarly to, like, I think it might be Mystery Incorporated. I don't know. The one where Velma has a bow. That's all I...
That's Mystery Incorporated.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
The iconic bow.
Yeah, I don't... I don't really like that they have Velma fawning over Shaggy.
She gets over it, though.
Yeah, but, like, it was strange, because I only seen, like, a couple episodes, but, like, it wasn't very Velma-like of her.
Finish it, you'll be happy.
Okay, I will.
Finish it, you'll be happy with where that goes, because that's setting up for her to go through some development later on.
Alright, that's fair. That's good.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, it's...
Yeah, because Shaggy and her...
Still don't think it should have drived her character development, but
Shaggy,
I get her.
it doesn't later on. She ends up, like, moving on from him, which is good, but, like... Yeah, that whole thing is just a good, like... It feels like a teenage romance, because, like, she's super into him, and he's just like, I don't know, I gotta play video games or whatever. Can we make out? And it's like, yeah, that's a teenage boy. I don't know. Just I don't know. I was gonna go back to Be Cool Scooby-Doo and just say that, like, that definitely reminds me of, like, Teen Titans Go, which for the longest time I really hated, because I was like, they could be doing old Teen Titans, but, like...
Yeah.
After a while, I kind of grew to appreciate that it's its own thing. It references the old thing, and it's not necessarily where I'd want to see them take Teen Titans, but, like, we've had so many serious adaptations of superheroes at this point that it's kind of nice to see, like, a takedown of them for once. And it doesn't really... The fact that it exists does not replace the old one. And the old one had a good run. Such a good run, in fact, that it got renewed for a 5th season, which never happens with, like, cartoons like that.
Right.
So it did pretty well.
It's like...
And it's not gone.
Point with
Another thing, too, is that I feel like something a lot of people forget is, like, we're not the demographic anymore, either.
Yeah,
like,
we're not going to always be the demographic.
They're not... That humor isn't our humor. We got our humor. We got our superheroes. their time and their turn, and like they think it's funny. Like my sister sits there and laughs at that kind of stuff all the time, but
it'll come back.
Whatever.
It'll come back around. Give it 5 years, it'll get rebooted, and it'll either be a new one or they'll do the old one. It's the same thing that's happened with like all the '80s culture and whatnot. How they brought back like He-Man and they're bringing back
Voltron
He-Man
and She-Ra and like all the new adaptions of like those
G.I. Joe and stuff. So they'll do the same thing. They've already kind of done that with Teen Titans. That's kind of what Teen Titans Go was people missed the show so much that Cartoon Network greenlit like another spin on it, essentially.
Yeah.
But they wanted to give something new a try, which is fine. And I mean, DC, like their streaming service, they did the Titans show, which it's not very good. But but they tried. But yeah, that show's not very good at all. I specifically like the line where Robin breaks a dude's neck and says, Batman. Very Robin-like.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that. That's
good time.
wow.
Anyways.
Well, I think that's it.
Watch Scooby Doop. It's
Watch
good.
Scooby-Doo. Drink water, do your taxes, and
Batman.
Yeah. With consent.
With consent.
Yes.
Consensually seduce Batman.
Looking pretty good in that bat suit today, Bats.
Oh my god.